Spanking Older Women 1. Ken discovers the pleasure of spanking the bottoms of older women. Written by Paula Mann. Narrated by Peter Michaels. Published by Mann Publishing. This audiobook is for adults only. All participants represented in the fantasies in this audiobook are over 18. Chapter 1. Spanking Maggie. I've always loved spanking girls' bottoms, and I've absolutely no idea why. I was never spanked growing up, and by the time I started school it was frowned upon, if not actually banned. So my early experiences were limited, but I just love it. My name is Ken Barnard. I'm in my early 30s and tall with a mop of blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm just over 6 foot and slim, and although I don't really exercise, I'm reasonably fit. Apart from my desire to spank naughty girls, I'm an ordinary guy. I like to watch football on telly, I read 2 Sunday papers, and use public transport to get to work rather than starting my car in the morning. I'm just ordinary. My first girlfriends were horrified when I wanted to spank their bottoms, and by the time I was in my early 20s, I had yet to find a lady who enjoyed being spanked, although a few did allow me to spank them because of the erection that their spanking gave me. I have always been reasonably well endowed in that department, but after spanking a bottom, I'm huge, comparatively. Nothing else gets me up like that. But I didn't want to be allowed to spank their bottom. I wanted them to crave the spankings, just like the girls I'd seen on those early websites, dressed up in ridiculous school uniforms or pretending to be a nurse, and saying things like, "Oh, sir, you're not going to spank me, are you?" They were all terrible actors. At least they did add to my fantasies late at night with my hand in my underwear. Then I got married. What a terrible mistake that was. The sex was good to start with, but when I discovered my best friend was having better sex with my wife than I was, I realized it was better to just leave them to it. I traveled for a few years, and when I came back, I discovered I was divorced. I hadn't signed any forms, but my so-called best friend had signed the papers and appeared in court for me. Well, I guess it saved me the trouble. While I was travelling, I spanked a few bottoms, just to keep my hand in, you understand. In Thailand, there were plenty of bottoms to spank, at a price. But that didn't do it for me at all, although, to quote Paul Simon, I took some comfort there. So back in London in my early 30s, I had a whole book of experiences to share, but none of them satisfied my real craving. I thought it was time for me to settle down, so I started to work for a computer software company in London. The money was very good, and the work...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?